Hey guys, it's Will. Hopefully you're having a great day today. In this video, we're going to be covering BBAI stock, and the defense sector is down. I want you guys to get ready for this move that I potentially would see happen if Big Bear can continue this momentum. But overall, today you see 5% down on CTM there. Big Bear AI about 4.5%. It's not crazy because you do see some of the companies selling off, but one of the big movers today, Palantir, down about 13.9% on the day. And I'm not surprised personally because I've looked at a lot of the valuations, and to me, I don't think that Palantir was really at a point where it had a nice margin for profit. To me, it seemed more like a risky trade. You could see it, the overall trend, it was kind of like starting to trend up here, and it was at this resistance. So Palantir is selling down, and also the valuations, don't get me started. I mean, AMD stock, you could look at AMD, it's at like 159 billion, and you see Palantir is at 250 billion in market cap. But AMD, so AMD has less than half, basically, or a little bit less than half of the market cap, a little bit more than half of the market cap, and AMD has a revenue of 7 billion. And then you have Palantir has a revenue of just 800 million. Like, that does not make sense. So the market cap to me and the chart on Palantir looking overextended. So I was expecting some defense sector sell-offs, but we didn't expect this to happen here. Big Bear AI about 5%. It's kind of surprising because I guess, if the whole market's selling down, this would happen. And it's not at any level right now that looks fully bearish. There's a little bit of a trend maybe from this high that's like, oh, it's getting rejected there and having trouble breaking above that average. But outside of that, you could see a few levels why Big Bear is in a key position. It has this support level. You guys see this level right here. It's a pretty strong support. So support, right? Kind of support. And then resistance and consolidation. Resistance, support right there. And that's kind of where it's coming down to. And also, there's this previous resistance level at current prices right now. And so you can see as it's starting to sell down today, it's possible it sells all the way down to 297, somewhere in here. And, I guess the really conservative approach would be maybe being able to, look at weathering a storm potentially, that we could potentially see it sell down to this orange line, all the way down to 240 or something. Do I want to see that? No. Do I expect that? It depends on the market conditions today in the next few days. But if we have, let's say, decent earnings continue for big tech, which they have not been bad at all, it's really been just some of the economic indicators from the Fed that have not been as favorable. But if those continue, we see market V-shape continue, for example, with SPY. Like, one thing to note, if Big Bear they're getting these contracts, they're continuing to make money, but then you take a look at SPY, and SPY is now on this trend. This pullback today at one point is down 1.7%. Now it's recovered up to just 0.2% down. But you can see this is a V-shaped pattern on SPY that we've seen before. It's going to pull back some. It's possible that, we have more of a down sell. It's possible. But if you go back to like 2020, it's a similar type of sell-off. And, it really V-shaped. It had some pullback days, but it V-shaped out of it. It's possible we have something similar here, V-shape out of it. But right now we're just kind of, monitoring and adding to our long-term positions as we normally would, but then playing some of the volatility in the near term. So with that being said, Big Bear AI, the volatility in the near term is pretty heavy, but it doesn't mean it's going to end the day red today. One of the things to consider is that it is still holding above the median of this overall support and resistance. So from a technical standpoint, support, resistance, it's really holding above this level right here that is a key level for us to see it still continue to have momentum upwards. So as of right now, I would indicate if we just go back to a normal 1 hour time frame, you could kind of see this play out in a way that, yeah, it's crossed below here, but the RSI and MACD do look oversold as they kind of looked right here. So it's possible we see a move up as well. And the only thing we could do is really see if it validates that support. That's what I'm going to be looking for, at least. If it validates the support again, or if we see it start to create an overall trend that might be more like this. You guys see this trend right here that we could potentially see start to develop. So we'll see if it validates this, maybe pushes up, and that could be the move. Otherwise, it is looking a tiny bit bearish recently. But I would expect that Big Bear AI right now could sell back down to 294 before continuing up. I think that would make sense. Somewhere in that 280, 294 range would make a lot of sense for its direction right now, as we notoriously see it get rejected and sell back down to this $2.40 range. So we'll see how that plays out. But overall, when it comes to the chart, that's how it is. BBAI stock, don't forget the institutional investors. There are large institutions heavily investing into them, including BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street. You might say, why? What's the reason for Big Bear getting all this funding? Well, if you go to their site, you kind of do some research on what it is that they do. They have some of the most well-connected partnerships in the world, or in our government. One of them is, the Department of Defense. You have the Secretary of State. You have the, I had some coffee this morning. Sometimes coffee, it can be a little acidic. That's what happens. And it's like, anyway, it's delicious. My favorite part of the whole day. But anyway, they have, $160 million market contract with Army. They have my favorite partnerships, which are the Department of Defense, but also the transportation with Denver International Airport, where they scan your face. I've been getting my face scanned when I go travel there, so that's been interesting. So I think they have a lot. I'm kind of jumping through pretty quickly, but if you just go over to some of their news, you take a look at their latest financials, their net income was down just a tad, but it was up quarter over quarter, so that was improving. They just released an article today. It says Big Bear AI and Hardy Dynamics collaborate to advance AI orchestration for U.S. Army drone swarm operations project, Linchpin. So DoD, AI machine learning is obviously, a part of what they're looking at. Being able to imagine you have a gate, and it's a gate into your city that you live in. And every time someone comes in or out of the gates, you know who it is. You know how many people are going in and out. You know how many people are in and how many people are out. You know at what times they go in and out. You know their makeup, their ethnicity, their skin color, their blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's the type of tech that Big Bear, Big Brother, Big Bear, is working on. So you could see they also have that partnership with Palantir. And one of the things that they're working now that's, I would say, more close to warfare than others. Like usually you see them work in just defense, something that may be a little more geared towards, it says defense ecosystem. So it's ecosystem. It says, in supporting the U.S. Army's Project Linchpin, Big Bear AI is advancing the frontiers of AI-powered operations across the defense ecosystem. Kevin McElhaney of Big Bear AI stated, we are excited to work with Hardy Dynamics to deliver mission-focused, scalable solutions to meet the evolving needs of our warfighters where they operate. Most importantly, this collaboration is directly aligned to the U.S. Secretary of the Army and Chief of Staff of the Army's Joint Letter to the Force Army Transformative Initiative, which prioritizes the delivery of warfighting capabilities, including close to CSUAS capability gap. Command and control nodes will integrate artificial intelligence to accelerate decision making and preserve the initiative. We are at the forefront of this transformation and will deliver. So you can see, as a part of Hardy Dynamics, we will leverage Big Bear's AI, data, and sensor orchestration platform, Conductor OS, to facilitate the interoperability between various autonomous systems. Focus includes developing adaptive ML algorithms, so machine learning algorithms, allowing these systems to learn from and respond to dynamic environments, increasing operational agility and mission effectiveness. So that's exactly the type of stuff that um, we've talked about as making them the type of company that's like, hey, get ready. They're kind of getting these same contracts as Palantir. And that's the type of contract, really, that puts their tech in a similar position. So when it comes to their overall outlook, there wasn't a dollar amount on that contract, which is a little bit of a shame. I hope that they release some sort of dollar value announcement, because those are good to see. But also noting their recent earnings, they didn't account for all of the payments they were set to receive in Q1. So in Q2, their earnings may or may not be better. We'll see how that goes. When it comes to the risk, I'd say RSI MACD a little over on the oversold side, but still overall consolidation left to right. We could see it sell back down here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. Hey, we just wrapped up our live session trading AMD stock this morning. If you want to trade AI stocks, quantum, or anything like that, it's that second link in the description to join our daily live sessions. Thank you guys so much for watching. If I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.